trade. This is the key. When we know things, when we know how to do things, when we've had some experience, we can relate and connect with people. And that's what Paul used it for. And a lot of times you hear, well, yeah, that's how he supported himself in the ministry. No, he only did that for about a week or two. And then he was on, it says there was a shift there. It says when Silas and Timothy came from Macedonia, it says Paul was compelled by the Spirit. Now that he had his team around him again, he went from just sharing the gospel on the Sabbath day in the temple to being compelled by the Spirit to get out there with his guys and preach the gospel aggressively again. So this whole tent making thing, it was not an issue of trying to make money to support himself in the ministry. It was an issue of how do we get connected with the society that we're sent to minister to. And so when we got these guys from all over Asia here, and we're teaching them how to log teak, you know, how to use the chainsaw and how to limb trees and how to take care of the bush after the trees are gone. And next week we're finishing off a little sawmill that we're building, and we're going to be sawmilling the teak trees down at our home base in the Bible school, making our own paneling, wood paneling, to finish off some of the decorating in the school and stuff. And you know, it'd be a lot easier and probably even cheaper just to hire somebody to do it. But that's not the issue. We want these guys to be able to connect with real things, real everyday stuff that Joe Blow, that they're going to minister to, has to deal with, and to know what hard work is. They need to know what it's like to get here at 2 in the morning and go to bed, and then get up at 6 in the morning and be out here chopping all day. And it was like 38 degrees here today, and we were just dehydrated, and it's been quite a time. And then this afternoon we did our Bible college lesson for 3 hours over there in a little hut that we found on the other side of the pond there. And you know, all of these things tonight, where the students are down here making supper, they got to do all the cooking themselves, and it just really is an awesome opportunity to be able to connect with the reality of life. And what I love is when we got these guys that come from places like Joseph, for example. He says, you know, Pastor, I've never seen leaders who did this kind of thing before. In my country, the pastor sits behind a desk. You know, he has his little world around him there, but he never gets out and does physical work. I say, well, it's not a matter of making support or anything like that. It's an issue of, can we relate to the people that we're ministering to? And also the other aspect of it is, when you get a guy like from India or Pakistan or Nepal or those kind of things, they see some of the things that we can do just because we have the idea to get up and to get going and to get doing some things. And then they get ideas for their own nations, things that they can do to move the people that they're going to minister to from a place of poverty, particularly in many of the nations that we minister in, into a place of prosperity, into a place of effectiveness for the gospel. Jesus wants his church to be triumphant, and to do that, we're going to have to be effective and influential in the people that we minister to. And so we're seeing these ideas coming up in these young men's minds, these young women's minds. They're thinking, you know, well, man, we could do this. Hey, we could do that. We could get this going and that going. But they know that they're going to have to get out of bed early. They're going to be going to bed late, and they're going to be working hard all of their lives in the ministry to be able to produce this kind of activity and this kind of an influence, and to break into the societies that we're called to minister to. So this is an awesome opportunity for these guys to really develop, to learn, and to take away some ideas that they're going to be able to use in their life of ministry that's coming up for them in the future.
Well, we're packing things up and we're going to another place, and we're going to set up camp there. We're going to spend the next few days there as well, doing ministries.
We are here in Wawi Mountains, so we're gonna make our tent here for like 3 days.
It's just been an amazing week out here on our jungle trip, and while we've been here on our jungle trip, we've been having our Hebrews class as well, and then we had our time at the teak plantation had come to an end. We had finished up at one site, and then we had moved to the other site where we also have teak plants there, and we got that all done and in 2 days, and we had an amazing time there. We worked as a team, and we beat the bush. There was thorns like something else, but as power and unity, we triumphed over that.
We're going to check out this place where they say they are selling dog meat. And
Dog.
if you
Man.
what is it, Josh?
That is dog. Come on.
Well, let's go check it out and let's see what the fuzz is all about.
Is this dog meat?
Yeah.
Is this, look at that.
I think he's like stopped.
What is this?
Before you eat dog?
It's a dog?
Yeah, they
Oh,
eat
the
like
skin
that.
is like
Akha people
this.
eat. Akha people, they like to eat dog meat.
Well, there you are. So, what do you call that? Normal?
Way of life? Normal? It's no different than having the chopping block right beside the chicken coop, or the slaughterhouse right beside the pig pen.
Would you buy it though?
You want to try to
Would I buy a dog to eat? No.
You might want to save the dog, right?
I don't know. It's just, it's different. Like, that's how they live here. Like, for them, it's the same as us going to KFC. Like, it's a different way of life. Like, we can't comprehend it because we don't live here. They don't put the same emphasis on their pets as we do. So, I don't know. You can't really condemn them for it because it's how they live. And really, if we want to start doing that, what are we? I don't know, just looking at things in that light, we really have to be careful when we look at someone else's culture and make assessments and judgments based upon our own culture and our own preferences. So we can't be judging too much, or really at all, unless we be judged ourselves.
We're gonna go to church, Anaka Church, and then we're gonna drive all night until 2 a.m. to church, I think.
We've been working real hard on this Victory Bible College trip in the north of Thailand, working really on setting up practical ministry mindedness in the hearts of our students, because the practical part of the ministry is so very important. And again, it's not about trying to do things or find ways to support the ministry, although that's always helpful, and God has ideas for us and things that we can do that'll really produce the revenue that we need to do the ministry and grow the ministry. But really the idea is to get ideas and bigger thinking into the minds of people who want to become leaders. Especially when you look across Asia, you know, there's so many people that are stuck in this poverty mentality, or this mentality of, you know, the church is poor, the Christian believers, the pastors are poor and will never really be able to do much. But the fact is that God wants us to rise above that. You remember how John prayed for Gaius and the church that he sent that letter to, and he said, I pray that you would prosper and be in health above all things, you know, even as your soul prospers. And this is one of the issues. When we get a prosperous soul, when we get an idea in our heart of the greatness and the goodness of God, then we need to have the practical training or practical ideas. You know, you watch these guys, and every time they pick up a hoe or pick up a wrench or pick up a welding torch or whatever it may be that we are doing in practical ministry, they begin to expand their perception. And what will happen then in times of ministry difficulty, when they face challenges, they'll think, you know what, we did something like that in Thailand. We did something that brought a solution. And one of the things that we want to really impart now is that as ministry leaders, as apostolic leaders, we have this spirit of pioneering, never failing, but always finding a solution. What do you do when a problem rises? Do you find a solution, or do you say, well, you know, that's just too difficult, we're not going to be able to fix this? No, we've got to have guys who find a solution. The gospel is solutions, and Jesus has solutions for all of the people across the nations of Asia and around the world. And I'm so thankful that you've joined us today on Continuum. Well, tonight now, you know, as we wrap up here, we're somewhere way up on the top of a mountain, and tomorrow we've got to head back towards Sriracha, where we've got some more practical ministry, a work week coming up, again, very important. But I want to thank you for watching the program today, and for praying for these students and having a heart to see, you know, a bigger way of thinking and a greater, wider heart, you know, just that perception of the greatness of God and the possibilities in the face of challenges and in the face of problems. And I just pray that God will bless your life as well as you continue to do things practically. You know, we're practical people, aren't we? And we love to do things that produce and become fruitful. And that's what we have. One of the things that we have as Weston is really to impart to our, particularly our Asian students. And so I want to thank you for partnering with this ministry, for helping us, for supporting us, praying for us, doing all the things that you do. And keep in touch. Go to our website, visit our website, wmcontinuum.com, and all kinds of new news and stories and on there. And you get a lot more details of all the lives of these students that you've watched this week and got to know them a little bit better, and to learn of things not only that challenge them, but the victories that they have in their lives and the places that they're going to go and the things that they're going to do. It's not going to be long, a couple more months, and we'll be graduating another group of these students, and they'll be going back into their nations to fulfill the call of God on their lives. I'm so excited about the success of the Great Commission as we teach Bible doctrines and Bible foundations, plus a good dose of practical ministry. Here's how you deal with the real problems that face us as leaders. And so again, I bless you. God bless you. God prosper you and keep you in health, even as your soul prospers, in Jesus' name.